Alrighty, this is the Peloton Agents presentation. I'm going to do a quick code review, quick data review, quick code review, and then a full demo. Goal is 3 user stories per agent. There's 5 agents. There is a marketing agent, a data science agent, a membership and fraud detection agent, an order shipping agent, and a product recommendation agent. So let's start here with the data we have before we get to the code. So over here, I pulled a lot of user stories from a knowledge base. This is in JSON, it's one centralized knowledge base. A lot of it was created using GPT, but also like my own direction of what needed to be done. Again, this is one knowledge base. You could have also pulled from a database. You could also extract it from a PDF. You could extract it from a web URL. But for simplicity, that's easy to build off down the road. I just did a knowledge base for now. I also used for different scenarios an order status CSV, flagging if an order is fraudulent or not with the order number and then its status. I also have a workout data CSV that we'll use with the data science agent here in just a minute. And then I also have a campaign data CSV that we'll use with the marketing agent to analyze things. This data is completely fake. All the data is and was created by GPT and myself or Copilot. Code review. So we installed a bunch of packages. Also, full disclaimer, a lot of this code was sliced, diced from prior assignments written by Dr. Atif Bader. And then also myself, and then also a lot of the debugging code and whatnot, what I used GitHub Copilot. So just full transparency there, but this is all my own work. So let's get into it. So just package import here, nothing crazy. A lot of this I didn't end up using, especially like the vector database and whatnot. But I have it just because, yeah. Side note, I did try to scrub from URLs, but then it got really weird. It wasn't parsing it the way I wanted it to. It was giving a lot of extra information. And I was kind of beating my head against the wall. So it was just better to pull from the freeform text file or CSVs. And again, in the real world, you'd want to use a database or anything like that. So I also used, for my credentials, I used a .env, made life easier, especially with my virtual environment. And then I created the status of the agent, so inquiry state. And then I created a router. Again, this is actually used in assignment 4, and I really, really like this setup where an LLM like GPT-4o actually classifies the intent of the user right off the bat and routes it to the correct agent. I love this philosophy. It is easy to understand when you're first starting, like me. It's also something that's easy to scale. And 4o, of course, what it's really good at is understanding intent, understanding context, understanding what the person's really trying to accomplish. And so I just love this approach. So the LLM classifies it. It then maps it. We map it to a specific agent. And yeah. So there goes that. And then it calls that agent. So the product recommendation agent, a lot of the information is literally just took from the knowledge base, sent to GPT, and then GPT responds for it. So that the product agent is actually really straightforward. The order agent, so order modifications and whatnot, I believe I also did fraud in this one. It looks at the knowledge path. It also looks at the order CSV, and then it uses that context to try to understand what's going on. And then if the person wants an update on their status, this is actually just using the order status as well. So it extracts that order number and then looks it up in the CSV, pulls it, and sends it to the user. And then it also has a fallback to the LLM. So if it doesn't really know what the person's talking about or what it's trying to say, it'll just send that query to the LLM if it cannot find in the knowledge base or it's not giving us order ID. So kind of overall, each agent, not every single one, but the general rule for me was check the knowledge base path, send that to the LLM, answer response. If there's nothing in a knowledge base, then let the LLM just respond. And then there's a few exceptions, like the data science and marketing agent, where I actually have artifacts that I upload and downloaded that big data, like the campaign data and the workout data that says, look in the knowledge base if you don't see it, But oh, there was a CSV given in the query, which you'll see here in a second, then use that and act accordingly. So again, use the knowledge base in JSON, answer if you can. If there's fraud mentioned in the user queries, this is in the membership agent, then go in, flag the CSV that's fraudulent, right? And then our team will be in touch and contact you, because that's generally how fraud works, kind of the overall path. So you'll actually be able to see in the order status, all of these are false for fraudulent. It'll actually come back and we will see that it'll send it to true. The data science agent, this actually takes in, so it also looks up the knowledge base for a couple queries, and then two of those for user stories, and then it also summarizes a CSV and gives data science insights with that. The marketing agent is really fun. This one, again, it looks at the knowledge base, and then it also actually can analyze campaign data. It analyzes this campaign data depending on the user's query and creates a bar chart for it. It will also create marketing campaigns, customized, yada, yada, yada. So that'll be kind of cool to see how that works. And then this is the builder, where it actually creates the different nodes and you can actually see how it looks. So I have a start, the LLM orchestrator or operator, then routes the query to the correct agent. Again, super powerful. You could have a million agents. You could also have like a sub query here where it says, yes, it's a product recommendation agent, but it's bundling, right? Like, let's do bundling products, right? Or it's a data science agent. Let's look at analytics, right? Like something like that. So you could have like sub agents within here, or call the sub functions. And an LLM would be really good at that because it can read the context so well. And then I just have a loop here where you can keep entering in your information. Again, you'll recognize this from assignment 4. Okay, cool. So let's get started. And just so for visibility, I have everything written out in a text file, so I'll just be going back and forth, copying and pasting. And then I also have my responses in here, so, part of the final assignment. So let me just get set up. So let's start with the product agent. So what products does Peloton offer? This is going to just pull from the knowledge database. And it's the product agent. So with every query, like with assignment 4, I really like that it actually tells you what agent it is and then the response, so you can double check that the LLM is routing to the correct agent. Offers comes range of fitness equipment, yada yada. And that is also what's here. Let's do, what products does Peloton offer for runners? So that a little bit more customized. Offers Peloton Tread and Tread Plus. So treadmill. That makes perfect sense. This is also pulling from the knowledge base. Some of the agents, I think there was 1 or 2 I did end up like hard coding, like if the query matches directly in the knowledge base, then great. Other ones like this, I had the LLM kind of interpret it and use the knowledge base as information, so a little bit more flexible. The hard coding, make sure this query matches perfectly, is good in a controlled scenario or a small data set. Wouldn't be great scalable, but it helps also with context and like subtle changes, right, and what the user is trying to say. Because there's a big difference between tell me what a fraudulent charge looks like and I want to report this fraudulent charge, right? Two very different things. Okay, so the product is back features, compact footprint, touchscreen, yada, yada, yada. Again, this is from the knowledge database. All the product ones are from the knowledge database, which is kind of fun. So that was 3 for the knowledge database. Now we're doing an order shipping agent. What is Peloton's return policy? This will also be from the knowledge database, but not all of the order return policy. 30-day home trial for all hardware products. I'm going to make this a scrollable element so we can kind of click through here. There we go. Okay. Was Peloton's exchange policy? Peloton allows exchange of hardware products for the 30-day home trial period. Again, I tried to pull this directly from the URL, like in the code, so that it was dynamic, but it really struggled with being precise and accurate. So, and then this next one's not going to be in the knowledge database. So let's look at what's the status of my order. So, set my order 68901. that one. It should come back processing. Order agent, the status of order 6891890 is processing. Now we're moving on to the memberships agent. You can see here membership agent, order agent. Peloton offers two primary membership options, the All Access membership. This is using the knowledge base. The order status didn't do that though. It actually just read the CSV. It didn't need the knowledge database. It read a CSV. Okay. Second one, what perks come with the Peloton membership? Membership agent, Peloton memberships include numerous perks beyond classic basic access. All access members receive multiple household profiles, personalized performance tracking, yada, yada, yada. So great. Okay, which one did I just do? Peloton membership. Perks. Perfect. Okay, so next, we're going to actually flag a transaction as fraud. So I'm going to paste this in here and then we'll look at the data. So you can see 6890. Right now it's fraudulent, is false, it's not fraudulent, but I'm the user and saying I want to flag it as fraud. There it goes, true. So the agent reclassified it as fraud. And then the report has been received. Our team will investigate and contact you. Since we know the order number, we can reach out to that user. All right, now we're getting to the kind of fun one. So let's do data science. This one will be from the knowledge base of just the different product analytics. So it does have product agents for this one. Output is a metric, so that's something I need to change, but it's a metric measured in watts, blah, blah, blah. So it has information on what does output mean. And then I have just an overall question that'll come from the knowledge database. What metrics does it give me? And here it recognized the data science agent properly. So that could also just be in my router LLM that I got to look at my router prompt. The Peloton bike provides the following metrics: output measured in watts, what they are. So again, just from the thing. But this one's really fun. So this is summarize my workout. So this is the workout data here that we're calling the CSV. So it has workout, output, cadence. So like this is like, I had 3 workouts and this is the data for that. So let's take a look at what it does. It's kind of fun. And so what it actually does is it recognizes you're submitting a CSV and what you're asking, and then it'll send it to GPT and get a response back for you. And it's a pretty long response, so we'll give it a second. Looks at output and cadence summarizations, and then sessions. Here, let me scroll up. So this is a data science agent, but the CSV sub part of it, that subcategory, which is kind of nice. Summary of the workout, total workouts, averages, and then performance analysis, and then ways you can. Oh, sorry, one second. And then ways you can improve. Interval training, cadence drills, strength training, and embrace rest. So you could definitely go into more detail here, but I thought it was cool so far. So that is the data science agent. Now we're moving into the marketing agent. So here's campaign data. So we're going to ask the agent to summarize the campaign data and look at kind of ROI and create a chart for us. So again, this data is fake. It was just generated with GPT and myself. So let's look. I did not like manually in the prompt say this is a CSV. It's just already in the agent. It's using the CSV as a data source in the function itself. And so it actually created this little chart for us. So you can see the differences, what costs the most, what like the budget and whatnot. So kind of cool there. And then also part of the marketing agent is we have actually writing campaigns. So this one is, can you write an advertising message to a person who's unsure if they want the Tread or Tread Plus to run in the winter? I want to encourage them to purchase the Tread. So I could do this as like a type of demographic, a type of person. Unlock your winner potential, ready to conquer the cold and keep your fitness goals on track this winter. So this is literally asking the LLM to do this. So the agent recognizes what you're trying to do, and then routes it. It says, oh, we're not looking in the knowledge base. We're looking to look over here. And then this is competitor analysis, and same thing. It will look to see if it's in the knowledge base, and if it's not, then it'll ask GPT. 4.0. And it's thinking, so we'll give it a second. There we go. Competitor analysis, key competitors, Nordic Track, Echelon, SoulCycle. What makes it unique? Brand loyalty and community, high quality content. So competitors' advantages, price point, they're cheaper, they have a variety of workouts. Beyond what you have. Oh, excuse me. So basically, Peloton excels in community, content, and ecosystem. However, it is a higher price point. So yeah, so that is 3 user stories per 5 agents. Thanks for listening.